Greetings and welcome to this next installment of DEI in About Five, brought to you by Sweet Ransom Diversity Consulting, and I am Robin Sweet Ransom. You know, what I'm going to talk about today is something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is what's going on with our teachers in our schools, primarily the public schools. You know, the school ground has become the battleground, and that's so unfortunate. I was watching the news today, and there was this teenage boy who attacked his teacher in the classroom. He slapped her once, and then he taunted her and said, "Do you want me to slap you again? Do you want me to slap you again?" And she just remained composed, still seated in her chair, didn't raise her voice, with her legs crossed, with her legs dangling. And she says, "I don't want you to. I don't want you to." And then he slapped her again with all his might. And then he said, "See, nothing happened. Going back to teaching." I think that was what he said. That horrified me. Thank God the boy didn't have a gun. But our teachers shouldn't be placed in that predicament. So today I'm going to talk about bringing fun back to school. Take the guns, bring the fun. And at the heart of situations that get out of control with that is conflict management, poor conflict management, no conflict management. And so when you partner with SRD, I'm going to give you, your teachers, the tools that they need to manage conflict more effectively. Now, it's impossible to totally predict and prevent all things from becoming explosive, but 90% of things we can manage and keep it from getting out of control. And so here are the tools that you are going to walk away with. And ask yourself, are your teachers perplexed by unruly students? Are your students struggling with conflict or bullying? When you take this journey with us, you'll discover the keys that you need to unlock the door to being able to respond graciously to disgruntled students, staff, and parents alike. So, in the first stage of the journey, we're going to talk about how to manage conflict between teacher and students. So the teacher will get the tools that they need to keep their composure when they're challenged. And I have to say, that one teacher, she gets a PhD in keeping her composure. And she came back to school the next day, bless her heart. Then you're going to learn how to employ emotional intelligence, listening to understand the sentiment behind the words that the child is speaking. Because let's face it, as adults, it can be hard to really express ourselves and articulate what we're feeling. And it's even that much harder for our children. So the teacher will get the tools that she needs to enhance her ability to do that so that she can anticipate what she needs to do for the child, reiterating expectations as well as consequences for poor behavior. And administrators, I really need you to come up with some real consequences for students who get out of pocket. And you base that upon the offense, right? Because our teachers need to be supported. They can't feel as if the consequence they mete out has no teeth in it, right? And then the teachers will get the tools they need to not only gain but maintain the commitment from the student. What about disagreements between students? A teacher can come alongside the students to help them to de-escalate their tensions. He or she will objectively listen to both sides. You don't want to take sides because that'll make the situation worse. You'll get the tools you need to empower the students to deal with their own disagreements more effectively. And then you'll reiterate expectations, and they can commit to what they can expect of themselves, what they can expect from each other. And then you'll be able to not only gain, but maintain the commitment for improvement from these students. What about students who are dealing with bullying? Again, you'll get the tools you'll need to help to de escalate the tensions, admonish the aggressor, get to the heart of the problem. And then later, once the student has calmed down, have the aggressor reassess their own behavior and really think about utilizing other tools to help them to deal with their frustrations rather than taking it out on someone else who they perceive to be weaker than they. And then empower the bully student to be more assertive, to stand up for themselves. Because after all, bullies are fueled by fear and a child who doesn't stand up for themselves. Now, that does not mean that we want the students to get to fighting, but what it does mean is they need tools to stand up for themselves. I know back in the day, I was afraid of a bully. My mother said, "Oh no, this will not work. You're going to fight her." So we fought. And we became good friends after that. Now, I am not advocating that. That was how it was handled then. And that's why I am here to give you tools to help your students to go about it a different way. And again, you'll gain and maintain commitment from the students. You get the tools you need. If necessary, and it's severe, to reach out to the parents, especially the parent of the aggressor, and get them to come alongside and support you with consequences and so forth for the poor behavior, right? Because sometimes parents think their children are angels, and we know that they're not. All right, so that's the end of part one. Come back for part two, where we'll talk about giving you tools on conflict with parents and staff alike. And remember, diversity plus you equals solutions. See you next time on DEI in about 5.